Hey everybody, let's get into the third part of first day. So would you like to endorse even your own self? A lot of people are coming to endorse themselves, but you are not even working on your career, your progress. That's why you are falling into problem and depression, anxiousness, restlessness, anything like that. So that's why would you like to retire all the things in your life? You don't feel it's tedious or you got stuck at point and you don't think about your progress or something like that. If you can't ever you are not able to think about it, in that case you're gonna fail in the life. So the value of yourself is zero in the future, even at it is at that present time. So you have to think that you have the confidence and confidentially you can work over your progress, your career. So that's it. So you mustn't have to you are not the person who is abhorrent, man. You are not over here to become that person. But what, you are an apathetic person who has no emotions and who can work over problem and issues and career with full conciseness, consistency, perseverance, discipline, inner inspiration and motivation he has. But he's not working under only motivation. He's not seeking all these things in the life. But the one thing he's actually performing in the life, that is what? He's so assiduous person and he always have to be. If you think that a lot of people are avaricious, but you can't consider yourself as like how really avaricious person, and you don't need to be that kind of person. If a lot of people are over here to become that kind of person, but you are not here to become that person. You don't need to adduce any kind of proof evidence against like how anything whatever is wrong, whatever was wrong. But it is better to explain, to what, to illustrate that topic, what is people are what kind of conspiracies or that kind of disputes actually people are executing and performing. So in that case it is better to have a lucid and what, somber idea towards that things or something like that. Only in that case people can they can able to reach at the destinations or something like that. But it's better instead of saying something like that. You guys are so feeling it's hideous or something like that. You come to what, express all the things over here in this way. But one thing you have to do that you don't need to feel that this is only a boring phase, and you can go through what, this path towards positivity, towards your lucrative or really prosperous and successful journey you can chase in your life. You come to what, consider your the path of your life, but you are actually performing and you are actually going through this path of way, and you will get each and everything in your life through this, and you don't need to worry about it, man. So cause you are actually hardworking and what, you just come to say that you are delegate. You are not delegate person, man. You are really a powerful and the extreme and ultimate energy you have that is within you, and you are actually working over it. So it is not better. Sometimes you can be inspired, you feel like you are inspired, you're motivated, but most of the time you can found yourself in that way. Even you feel you couldn't see even a little bit thing ahead of other people. But what, you don't need to apprehend. What, if you can apprehend even a little bit thing in your life, in that case that will be the turning point of your life. Most of the people feel to what, fail to understand even a little bit topic while they are in the car, while they are other people, while someone is saying instructions or what, lecturer, something like that. They fail to say little bit thing or the teacher and the lecturer. So it is not. So it is really how, really awful and terrible. So always we have to think that we are working over on our progress and something like that with our own conciseness, discipline, and inspiration, and that's enough for us. You know. So we need to bewilder on any each and every person. We have to only we have the right to bewilder only ourselves, our mentality, and that's why we can work over our progress through positivity, through a really lucrative way, and that's why we can work over it. So it is the best way and the process to become a best person in your life, so it is not better. You don't need to be like a best person like other people, but you have to be the best version of yourself. So if you go through this path and you are actually implementing all the things over your career, your mentality, that is, you can able you have the capabilities and the abilities to become that person, and you can become. Okay, you just have to depict all these issues, and even these kinds of dilemmas are ahead of you, but you don't need to care about it, and you are over here just to be a you don't care about that kind of dilapidated, perilous, or that kind of dismal conditions situation even there are ahead of you and besides you and behind you. You aren't gonna care about it. But the one thing you have, that the obligations and responsibilities and duties that will make you of the best version of yourself, and you will like to become that person, and you will become. So that's why you have to retire, to struggle, to contain, to sacrifice, and to what, to prepare for your career. So if you can prepare, and you are actually focusing on preparation of your version, in that case you are actually working through the progress that you will become in your life, and you always have to become. So it's not matter that you are not working over your progress, or it is really how disgusting people come to say, man. But one thing you have to remember, that you are over here to hard work, to be a persistent, consistent, and perseverant person, and even you have to direct the youth towards positivity, towards their goal. So that's why you are working over it. So so the purpose of you making videos and posting this through a consistent way is not just about getting views, likes, and the awareness. It's all about it's all about the life of youth. As people are diverting towards this mentality, towards negative things, and the negative is around them. So that's why they can't able to escape from it. So what? So the research for escaping from it is just discipline and the inspiration. That's why I'm saying, and I'm over here to express all the perspectives, and I have already embraced and faced a lot of things in my life. So that's why I'm over here to say, so ahead of you, as you can see, man. So you don't need to what be. It is not. Sometimes you can consider yourself like optimist person, but you have to be the optimist. What if you are not optimist person? In the case of studying, in the case of hard work in your life, you're gonna fail, man. So it is better to be a hardworking person, and to be, if you are diligent, in that case, even you don't have a clear shape form, in that case, that kind of amorphous things won't affect your mentality, whatever is around you. So you will work over it, and you can get it. You are not gonna what consider and recognize yourself like as an in person, so even you used to be as an in person, but one thing you will remember, that you are the best person, and we are actually working over it. So that's why you will get all the things in your life. So sometimes you come to say that all these things over here are just fallacious things, but most of the things, you're just what you're just escaping from it by saying it is really fallacious. So we don't need to engage in that kind of things, but most of the thing, everything's really lucrative, and what we can say, everything is looked at and really profitable and beneficial. But one thing we have to remember, that if we the word awareness, we have to everyone have to know that if you are aware toward your career or your growth, your progress, in that case, a person what has to arbitrate any kind of conspiracy disputes, so ahead of other people, and he has to work as a diplomatic person. So if he is not, in that case, he can even uh, solve the dispute and conspiracy between their mind and their what ahead of other people, and even with themselves. So that's why it can it can impede your journey. So it is better what not to what exaggerate other people. We just have to what reiterate the discipline in life, and that's it.